Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the live stream today. So far, the market is all over the place. We can see AMD is kind of dipping down. We have the SPY pulling back here right as that bell rings. And guys, it is not looking too good today. But what I will say is that the market was holding up extremely well over the past few days. So, for it to pull back today, I think is just like normal price action. But in the end, the biggest news today is definitely with Target. Look at where they opened, down over 24%, guys. This is insane. They're down to $161 here at the low. I cannot believe how low Twitter, or I should say Target, really just ran today. I know Walmart had those bad earnings a couple days ago, and they ended up tanking down, but Target really followed along here with their earnings, and it was just brutal to see them down this much here in pre-market. Good morning, Hunter, Keisha, Raymond, and George. Thank you guys for joining today. It's definitely I'm definitely glad to see you. Hopefully you guys are having a pretty good morning so far. Like I said, the market is pulling back a little bit. Most stocks on my watch list are in the red. I only have a couple stocks that are green, and once again, it's some of these oil plays like ZOM. Also see some defense plays like NOC. Barely green. Actually, now it's in the red, believe it or not, but it was just green a second ago. Lockheed Martin is like right around break even. So besides those few stocks, everything else is down. So anywhere between like 1% to 3% in general. So stocks like Nvidia are down like 3%, which is unfortunate. AMD is pulling back. We have Lucid also falling back down. A lot of the growth plays are coming back. We have Rivian coming down. Walmart's coming down with Target's earnings. They're down another 2.8%. We also have DraftKings. Oh man, no, not DraftKings. They're down 2.8% again. They're actually not looking too bad compared to a lot of these other stocks, but still, it's definitely not good to see them falling off like this. And man, Target's earnings were rough, guys. I'll get into Target's earnings over the next few minutes once a few more people join up on the stream here, but yeah, hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you guys for joining up. Of course, if you guys want to see any specific stocks or anything like that, just let me know in the comments, and I'll see what we can get going for you. But as of right now, the main movers seem like they're to the downside. Looks like Costco kind of falling back off here, down 6% today. Definitely not good with them. Logitech, they're down 3%, although they do have some green momentum here at open, which is interesting. I saw Amazon was actually down 3%. I noticed yesterday Amazon was looking really hot at the end of the day, and man, it really pulled back. So pretty unfortunate to see these stocks pulling back in such a big way like this. What I do want to point out is that we do have RUN still running to the upside, which is interesting. This stock's holding up. It's actually back up into the green, which for a growth stock, that's really good today. So I'll definitely take this out of RUN. I really liked RUN's setup yesterday, and I'm really happy to see it starting to break out now up above $22. Hopefully we continue to see good momentum here with RUN. I know a few of you guys were looking at this one in the Discord yesterday, and yeah, it seems like it's pretty hot again today. So hopefully she keeps running up here. Look at this. It's actually up to 22.25 now. Looks like RUN is starting to have a pretty good break to the upside. And I will say, guys, my watch list has been slowly but surely turning right back around into the green. So that's great to see. Good morning, Vicky. Thanks for joining. Keisha says, yes, I agree about Amazon. Did it pull back in sympathy of Target earnings? I could see that. That definitely is a big reason. That could be a big reason why they're down today, Keisha. I will say, though, Amazon, it's not just them that were down in pre-market. Like, a lot of stocks were down today in pre-market, like Nvidia, AMD, I'm sure Twitter. Yeah, Twitter was slightly down. Look at Twitter actually popping back up, believe it or not, though. That's kind of cool. We'll have to look at that in a couple minutes. But yeah, my main point was just that a lot of stocks were down in pre-market today. It wasn't just Target. Lots of tech stocks were down too. Even good old Tesla was falling off in pre-market. So keep that in mind, Keisha. But I think that definitely plays a role, though. Anytime you see Target or a big retailer fall down 23% like that, it is not a good sign. And what's really interesting to me, guys, is that some of these big retailers like Target and Walmart and different companies like that, they've been holding up very well over the past 6 months, as a lot of these other companies were really blasting off to the downside. And what's now interesting is that these bigger companies are now also starting to gap down. So it seems like the bad factors in the market are finally catching up to some of these slower moving companies. As we know, they're slower movers and they're a little bit safer, but they do always have big pullbacks sometimes. And, it looks like they just, we're kind of like lagging behind. Like for example, like AMD has been having pretty big continual pullbacks here for the past like 6 months, whereas Walmart and Target were holding up extremely well with higher inflation numbers and everything like that. They were doing pretty well on their last earnings report, so I was pretty surprised to see this one come in so negative. But as we know, they've been getting hit with inflation issues, rising wages. Man, there's so much stuff going on across the board. Even like Russia and Ukraine, that stuff plays a difference as well. Good morning, Roman. I really appreciate you joining up here. Thank you so much for joining. George says to check out UPST. Roman, if you have any stocks you want me to look at, just let me know in the comments and we'll pull them up here for you. George, though, mentioned UPST, and it's actually looking pretty hot today, I will say. Not bad here. I kind of like the movement. It's running up around it's running down around 2%, but it's trying to come back up to, the high of yesterday. The pre-market was pretty brutal for Upstart, though, I will say. It was kind of falling back, but it's not looking bad here, I will say. I'm glad it's coming back to the upside like this, and yeah, not looking too bad. It's pretty much filling this gap on the daily. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but look on the chart here. You can see a nice gap up on the daily chart. There's a big gap between like $40 and like $75. So seems like we're trying to fill it. I think we can end up going up for a couple more days here with Upstart, but like I said earlier in the stream, guys, just be careful. Lots of stocks have been flying up lately, so I would not be surprised if we started to see a very small pullback here. But I know I was talking on RUN a couple minutes ago, and it's still doing quite well today. Now it's up to 22.48. It's now up 1.5%. It's right up there at the top of my watch list. It keeps flip-flopping with Caterpillar, actually. Look at Caterpillar up 1.2%. This is nice to see. I know today some of those value plays like Walmart, Target, obviously, and other stocks like that are kind of falling off here, but it's very nice to see Caterpillar flying up in a nice way. That's making for some really nice movement. Roman says they've been looking at Boeing and PayPal. That's really cool. Let's go check those ones out. I think that those are both at amazing levels right now for the longer term. So let's see here. Yeah, Boeing is at $130, and I'll be honest, I never expected them to fall back down this low again. I will say, Roman, that seems like a really good pickup down here. I would love to see a really nice pop back up, obviously, a nice recovery. If we could even move back up to like the resistance of like 170 or 175, I think that could make for some amazing price action. So thanks for pointing out Boeing. That's a really good point there. Go ahead and looking at PayPal here. Let's see PayPal, because this one's probably a little bit better in my opinion, as far as opportunity for the future, that is. But looking at PayPal, they're really low. They're at right around $80 a share right now. This is actually a really good cash secured put opportunity, Romaine, if you're not into that, or if you're into that at all. I don't know if you're into doing cash secured puts, but PayPal right now will be an amazing opportunity. And I'm going to go out maybe like a month on PayPal out to the June 17th strike here. So if you really like PayPal and you're comfortable getting shares at like $80 a share, like right around where we're at now, or even if you wanted to be a little bit safer and you wanted to get like $75 a share for PayPal, you could short the $75 cash secured put and get $370 in premium right now. I think that's a pretty good deal. $370 in premium. And if you go to the 80 strike puts, you can get like $600 in premium for shorting that put. So what that pretty much is, Romaine, is if you get assigned, you'll get shares at $80 and you'll get paid $600 to buy those shares. So it seems like a pretty good deal to me. PayPal's really, really low. And, I'd be comfortable getting shares at $80. It's honestly not too far off of the current low. And I'm sure a lot of people were in PayPal way before now. So I think you're getting it at a pretty good price. That's a really good stock. Thanks for thanks for pointing that one out today. I think it's really awesome. So two really good longer term pickups here with PayPal and Boeing. I think they'll both do pretty decent over the next 5 years. Boeing, I think, is a little bit riskier given all the stuff with airlines and how planes can crash and everything. And man, I've seen some very negative reports about Boeing lately, so keep that in mind. But overall, it's been pretty good. Let's see. Vicky says the problem with retailers is not customers' purchases, but high costs they don't want to pass to customers. It needs to be reduced, and both Walmart and Target CEOs said they failed in controlling costs. Yeah, they did, Vicky. You're totally right about that. We're going to get into Target's earnings here in a few minutes. I'm just kind of waiting a little bit for a few more people to come back into the stream, and then we'll be getting right into Target's earnings. But you're definitely right. They they obviously said that they had problems controlling costs, and then also, they had a lot of issues going on with wages growing and also inflation and everything like that. I know that they're going to try to blame whatever they can on anything, so they're going to try to make it sound as good as possible, but I definitely feel what you mean, Vicky. And I'm looking at a nice quote here by Target CEO. He said the company missed the marks and its gains were accompanied by unusually high costs. So yeah, obviously they had trouble controlling that, Vicky, and that is a really good point there. So definitely a good thing to look at here with these retailers. But yeah, it sucks to see Target down this much. Walmart is down this much as well. It's terrible. I can't believe Walmart's down that much. Target would make a little bit of sense to me, but man, Walmart, I just never expected them to fall off quite that much. But it happens. It's obviously stocks don't go up forever, and whenever we look at the daily charts of like Walmart, Target, and a few others, they were kind of getting a little bit overextended here in the shorter term, but I just didn't think it would warrant such a crazy fall. But kind of like what I said at the beginning of this stream, guys, a lot of stocks have been falling lately, whether it's AMD, whether it's Square, Facebook, DraftKings, you name it. I mean, it's pretty much been down over the past 6 months. I mean, Netflix, Tesla. I mean, look at Netflix there. Tesla. I know I already mentioned Facebook, but they're such a big powerhouse company. Like, it's just hard not to mention them again. It's crazy to see how much these stocks continue to fall. And now I feel like Walmart, Target, and a few of the big box retailers are starting to now kind of get into that same funk. And it kind of sucks, but at the end, just expect stocks to come down. Like, stocks have been rapidly gapping down over the past couple months, and it seems like it's not stopping anytime soon here, especially with these retailers, of course. I know even DKS, not DKNG, DKS, Dick's Sporting Goods is also falling off here with Target and Walmart. I don't know if you guys are ever interested in trading Dick's, but look at the way they're falling down. They're below $80 a share and falling down to $78.50. Getting kind of brutal here, actually, guys. It's not good. Whenever you see big retailers like I keep wanting to call them DraftKings. Whenever you see big retailers like Dick's go down, Walmart and Target, it just shows that there's some issues in the economy. I'm sure even KSS is falling. Yeah, Kohl's is falling off too. What's interesting is Kohl's is going to be reporting earnings actually over the next few weeks as well. So that's going to be pretty big. Let's actually see here really quickly. So you can see here, let's see, where's Kohl's? Kohl's is going to be reporting Thursday before market open. So that's going to be a big deal then. After close, we have AMAT or Applied Materials and then Ross that day. But today is actually pretty big. We had Target, Lowe's, TJX this morning. And then after close, we're going to have Cisco and Bath and Body Works. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting day today. I will say Lowe's and Target obviously are the main two big stocks to look at today, and they're both kind of down. So that's bad. CSCO is reporting in after hours, though, so that'll definitely be awesome. But I think we're going to go ahead and now get into the Target earnings really quick. So if you guys want to cover that, we'll get into that. Let's see. Target is now falling below $160 down to $159 even. So yeah, it's getting kind of brutal here, guys. It's definitely not making for good action this morning. But here we go. I actually have the article thrown up right here for Target. So as we can see, their shares sink more than 20% after the company says high costs and inventory woes hit their profits. And keep in mind, guys, the inventory woes are due to supply chain issues fueled by higher costs and lower than expected sales. So it's definitely not good to see what's happening here. But keep in mind, guys, the supply chain issues, the inflation issues, and everything like that is just playing. It's really hurting these companies actually in the short term, and it's obviously caused a lot of issues with Target, Walmart, lots of these big box retailers in general. You can see that their EPS came in at 2.19 versus a 3.07 expectation, which was not good. That's actually a pretty big miss there on the EPS, but they did beat on revenue, which was great. And I know Walmart also kind of beat on revenue with their earnings. So kind of interesting to see how they're both beating revenue but losing on their EPS. But if we scroll down a little bit though, this is where the numbers get a little bit better here for me. So whenever not better, but I should say, well, we're getting a little bit more of an insight into what's happening. So it says sales did grow compared with that a year ago period. Comparable sales, a key metric that tracks sales at stores open at least 13 months and online, grew 3.3% in the first quarter. So that's great, which is on top of a 23% increase in comparable sales in the year ago quarter. And it is higher than Wall Street's projections for 0.8%, according to street account estimates. At Target stores and its websites, traffic overall rose 3.9%. So that's great. And keep in mind, guys, this isn't anything crazy. You know, year-over-year growth of 3.3% in the first quarter is definitely nothing too crazy, but it's good to see a 23% increase in comparable sales. So that's great. But whenever I scroll down here, the CEO has some pretty awesome comments here. So he said that the company's gains were accompanied by unusually high costs, of course, which is not good. In quotes, he said, while we see healthy top-line growth in the quarter, we were less profitable than we expected to be or intend to be over time, he said on a call with reporters. So definitely not good to see that, you know, they're expecting or intended to be, like they came in less profitable than they were expected or intended to be. So that's definitely not good. I will say he worded that in a very strange way, but it's definitely never good when the CEO is having comments come out like that. It also says here that their profits got hit by inventory that arrived too early and too late, compensation and headcount that rose at distribution counters, and a mix of merchandise sales that looked different than before. So that's definitely a big deal there as well. You know, this is actually hitting it on the head right here. Target's results mirrored Walmart's quarterly performance. That's right. You know, it's almost like an exact, I'm not going to say like an exact replica, but they're very close here. You know, they missed on some aspects. They did do okay in other aspects, but it's still not good to see that they're falling down like this. They also reiterated their revenue forecast, which calls for a mid-single-digit growth this year and beyond. They did not provide an EPS share estimate. That's interesting, but nonetheless, you go down here, it says total revenue rose to $25.17 billion from $24.2 billion a year ago. So the year-over-year numbers are definitely okay. It's just those shorter-term expectations and the supply chain issues that are really hurting Target here. And guys, I really think that the supply chain issues are causing a bigger factor than people think. You know, supply chains always have a big factor on these companies, especially like Walmart and Target, which deal in so much different consumer products. Mike says, good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning, Mike. Glad to see you back on the stream again. I know you guys are always in here this morning. And Mike, if you have anything you want me to see, definitely let me know. Mike also says, do I think this is a great buying opportunity for Cost? Let's see. Cost, I'm guessing you mean Costco here. Yeah, you know, I would say it is, Mike. You know, it's a pretty good price point on Costco. It's very low compared to where it was a couple months ago. Keep in mind that IV is super high. Maybe it'd be a good time to short some puts. Honestly, shorting puts on this one would be great. Just keep in mind, you know, it is $400 a share. So, you know, I understand that not everybody can, you know, short puts on this one and use like 40 grand or anything like that. But still, though, it's a pretty awesome stock and it's falling down quite a bit. I will say I think Costco has a pretty good chance to start to do well here over the next maybe 6 months to a year. Just keep in mind it's on a bad downtrend. It looks like it might continue lower here for a little while, but I will say there's a pretty big support coming up right around like $450 $40, somewhere really close to there, Mike. So if you're looking at Costco, I think that's definitely a decent pickup for the longer term, as long as you like what they do. And, you know, honestly, Costco, they were really running up there for a few months. Like, this was the stock of the past couple years. Like, I remember talking to Mike D'Antonio, that is, about how Costco was getting up really high, around $600, and we were sitting there mind blown at how high it was really running. And it's just crazy to see how it's coming back down now like this. And yeah, I think it'll be a great longer term pickup. Yeah, Vicky says Square and Costco is a great buy for the long term. And yeah, I agree. I think both of those stocks will be pretty good. I really do like Costco though, but just keep in mind it's falling down with Walmart and Target and everything like that. So the momentum can continue down a little bit. Just keep that in mind. Let's see. Keisha says Paramount is still on a rip tear. Let's see. Good old Paramount. Yeah, it is. It's up zero. It's only up 0.8%, but it is starting to move up in a pretty big way there, Keisha. So thanks for pointing that one out. It'll be a really fun one to watch as we continue here. And yeah, hopefully it keeps running up here for us. Yeah, if you guys want to see any more stocks, let me know in the comments. Keisha's also asking about Walgreens, or WBA. What's going on with them? So my first main thought here, Keisha, is that Walgreens is kind of like a retailer as well. You know, they obviously deal more with medicine than places like Walmart and stuff, but keep in mind Walmart has also been kind of getting into the pharmacy game and stuff. But nonetheless, I have a feeling Walgreens is pulling back this morning with Target. I don't see any company-specific news on Thinkorswim or anything like that, so I'm just going to go ahead and chalk this one up to falling back down with Target and Walmart, and also the rest of the retailers. Like, it's not just Target and Walmart. Like, look, we have DKS falling off. We have KSS falling down too. I know TJX reported earnings this morning, so they are up a little bit. So that one's going to be a little bit different. But as you can see, like, Target and Walmart are down a lot, and WBA is just kind of following along, I think. So, but yeah, it's definitely a pretty big pullback here, Keisha. It's down 5%, and we're approaching those lows again around $42. So hopefully Walgreens can start to climb out of the hole it's in. It's been brutal here. Look at CVS. CVS has been doing a lot better ever since the pandemic started. So it's very nice to see that, you know, I guess that Walgreens is, I guess it's not nice to see it in the end, but CVS is not looking terrible though. It's honestly looking a lot better than Walgreens is. So maybe CVS will be a good way to go, but I will say even CVS is falling off here, and it looks like a pretty bearish setup to me. It looks like we're about to break below like this $95 support, and it's going to be pretty rough. George says, looking at UPST now, Tom. Let's go check that out. Good old upstart here. I know they were trying to fly back up here today. Yeah, look at this. They're all the way up to $50, George. Great call. Great call. This one's really running, has a lot of momentum, and yeah, it's flying up there. This is great. So seems like some of these growth stocks are starting to come back up. So my watch list is slowly turning back into the green, which is great because, man, at market open, lots of stocks were down anywhere from 3 to 5%. So glad to see them coming back today. I know if you guys are bullish on these growth stocks, hit that like button. You know, it's always nice to see more green price action coming in here, and, you know, hit that like button. Who knows? Maybe if we get 30 likes, DraftKings will go back up to $15 today. That would definitely be awesome if we saw that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining up today and giving me lots of stocks to talk about. Definitely love to see that. Vicky says AMD is flying while the market's trying to dump. Let's see, good old AMD. Let's see. Yeah, it is actually, Vicky. I mean, it's still in the red, but it definitely has a lot of momentum back to the upside, which is great. And I've noticed a lot of stocks are starting to turn back up. Like, look at Square. It was down like 3% in pre-market. Now it's actually up 3%. So that's pretty insane. Like, from the low of pre-market to now, Square has had a pop of like 8%, guys. So that's making for some pretty crazy price action intraday. Look at Enphase. I know Enphase has been an amazing stock the past few months, and look at the way they're breaking out now, up above 160. We have RUN also breaking out, guys, up to 2264. So a lot of these breakout plays did end up working out very, very well this morning. As long as you stuck with the stock and maybe you had a good alert in place, you know, you could have caught some of these plays back to the upside, and some are still going. So who knows? Maybe you guys can still catch some nice day trades today. But yeah, they're really running up. It's amazing movement. Look at Roblox. They're up 3.8%. They're actually leading my watch list, and they're really recovering up back to those highs of yesterday. Yeah, this is amazing, guys. Like, the way stocks are turning around is just insane. I can't believe how accelerated they turned around. Like, you know, they were falling off at market open, and it was looking kind of brutal, but slowly but surely we're coming right back up into the green with a lot of them. I will say one stock that's also red again is Rocket Lab, or RKLB. This is not good for the space stocks. I know that this one has been talked about quite a bit the past few months. I'm also noticing a lot of those slower mover stocks like KHC also coming down. I guess you could call them value plays, but yeah, they're really falling off, like with Walmart here, which is never good to see. But, you know, if DraftKings and the rest keep going up, I don't mind if Kraft keeps falling. So either way, as long as growth keeps going, I don't mind what these value stocks do, guys. If you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments, because man, it's been brutal for the growth stocks lately. Like, we might have to go through a couple months of Walmart and Target pulling back while these growth stocks move up, and hey, I'll be okay with it as long as the growth stocks recover up in a big way. Let's see. Vicky says AMD is flying. Oh yeah, we already covered that. George says AMD, Nvidia, MU now looking great. Yeah, they definitely do. MU, Nvidia, like Vicky said, AMD was coming back. So yeah, great stocks there. Vicky's asking for support and resistance on Unity, please. Let's go check that out. Good old Unity. Yeah, good old Unity right here. Let's see. So as far as resistance goes, Vicky, they are kind of popping up today. So the high of day today is sitting right around like $39. That could be a good intraday resistance, Vicky. So of course, always look at 39. But if I were you, my main level to the upside today would be $40 a share. I think that's going to be a really big resistance, and I really like Unity. So hopefully they can break out above 40. I love the way they're breaking above the 1,000 SMA now, which is nice. It's been a long time since they were above that 1,000 SMA on the 5-minute chart. So it's really cool to see them kind of running like this. But yeah, I would say $40 is going to be the main resistance level there, Vicky. As far as support, I see a big support down here, right around $35 for the shorter term. But there is another intraday support right around 37. So keep that in mind. So the first level to the downside would be 37 and then 35. But yeah, I do like Vicky. I do like Unity a lot, Vicky. So especially for the longer term. So keep that in mind. It's in that gaming sector, and as we know, the gaming sector is set to do pretty good over the next few months. I know EA is another gaming stock I've been looking at a lot. They're kind of popping back up here. TTWO is one of my favorite gaming stocks. They make Grand Theft Auto, and they recently were dipping down to around $100 a share. Guys, if you guys are into gaming stocks and you like Grand Theft Auto or anything like that, TTWO seems like a great long-term pickup. You know, it is a little overextended. We just flew from 100 up to 120, but keep in mind this stock was at 195 and still has a long way to go. So it's still kind of at a good level here, I think. So maybe eye up TTWO if you're into that gaming sector at all. Vicky also says some small caps are on the move. Yeah, that's good to see, Vicky. I don't know. I don't look at small caps too much. Maybe if you want to throw me some tickers, I can look at some. But yeah, the only small caps I really look at, and I don't even know if these are considered small caps anymore. I think they probably changed, is like, you know, Corsair and stocks like that. Not even sure those are considered small caps. Like I said, I'd have to look into that a little bit harder. I don't know their exact valuation, so we'll have to see. Let's see. LS Bear says SoFi running a bit also. Let's check it out. Good old SoFi here. Let's see. Yeah, SoFi is running. It's up 2.6%. It's looking pretty hot. That daily chart actually looks pretty good for SoFi, so I'll take it. I think it looks pretty decent. That IV is also fallen back down. It was at 135% before earnings. After earnings now, it's fallen down to 94%. So pretty crazy to see the IV fall that much, LS. But looking at it, it has a lot of momentum today, and I feel like for the next few days, it could definitely continue up. It looks like it's trying to like break out of this little range it's in right here. So yeah, really good point here. LS, I really appreciate you calling out Sofi there. It's really running. It's actually at the top of my watch list now, which is crazy, up 3.4%. The next highest one is Roblox, and then followed shortly behind that is Robinhood and RUN. If you guys are interested in any of those big movers today, but yeah, if you guys are interested in any other stocks, let me know. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't hit it yet. It really helps out the channel and helps out the stream. So far, it looks like we have 11 likes. If we could get at least up to like 20 likes or something like that, it would really help me out, guys. It of course, it helps push the channel and everything like that. But overall today, I mean, the stocks are doing pretty good, and hey, I'll take it. You know, nice green momentum out of some growth plays. I will say some stocks are still down into the red. Like, I know a lot of these airlines are down a little bit from yesterday. PayPal is still kind of down. Let's see, what are some other ones? AI is in the red, unfortunately. They are holding their ground okay, though. Good old Palantir is barely in the red. Palantir could go green, though, if this momentum continues back to the upside. They could definitely have a good chance to possibly come back up, which is amazing. So hopefully we continue to see good old Palantir pop up here. I'll definitely I'll take that movement if it does break above like $8.50. Maybe eye that up for like a good day trade. I think that could be a pretty good possibility there with Palantir. That would be very nice. George says, well, crap. SPY is wanting to tank back down. Let's see. SPY. Wow, it is. It is actually tanking down, George. It's coming back down to 401. It looks like it's going to try to retest $400 or so. And, you know, I guess it's pretty normal. You know, we have a lot of those big movers coming down today. Like I said, Facebook is almost in the red. We have Apple falling back down a little bit. Microsoft is also falling. So pretty bad to see these stocks falling back down. While some stocks are rising, it seems like the stocks that are rising are mostly like growth stocks and stuff. We're not really seeing any of the bigger movers out there. Like I said, Apple and Microsoft are red, so that's never good. Even Tesla's in the red, which is a bad sign as well. But whenever you have big retailers like Target and Walmart falling down like 20% plus over a couple days, I mean, you know, the market just has to pull back. So honestly, I'm not too worried that the market's pulling back. What I am happy about, though, is that the SPY has done pretty good over the past couple weeks. Like, look at this. We had lows of 385, and we came all the way back up to 401. So I'll definitely take that. I mean, it's not terrible. But, you know, I'll take the movement back up. I will say, even though we're falling off here, guys, keep in mind this could just be normal price action. You know, like the SPY has been up and down, it seems like every single day. So to see it coming back down here today is not too worrisome for me. I don't think it's going to really affect anything too much that we're down today. Now, if this does continue down for a few more days, then that can start to get brutal. But as long as it's just like a one-day pullback or just a couple-day pullback / consolidation or something, then I think it could be okay. But yeah, we'll have to see how stocks end up doing tomorrow. And we do have some more big retailers reporting earnings tomorrow as well. So tonight we're going to have Bath & Body Works. Then tomorrow we're going to have Kohl's in the morning. So KSS is going to be another one to keep your eye on. Like I said before, they are also falling down this morning. They're down 8%, kind of with Target and Walmart. So maybe eye them up on earnings if you want to. But overall, it's pretty crazy to see how it's falling back down like this. It's definitely not good to see it falling off that low. Of course, we never want to see that happen. But yeah, if you guys are interested in any more stocks or any setups, or you want to talk about Kramer, or you want to talk about Powell or something like that, let me know in the comments. You know, definitely be interesting to spark up some nice conversations. Even if you don't think I'll necessarily agree with your comment, definitely leave it down below, because you know it's always good. Maybe I'll learn a little bit. Maybe you'll learn a little bit. We can you know, have some nice conversation going. So yeah, just let me know. But right now, you know, still looking at stocks to the downside, unfortunately. I'm still kind of eyeing up Amazon here, down 4.3%. They're having a pretty big pullback today, which is a little bit unfortunate. Cvs Pharmacy is really falling off here, kind of like what we mentioned earlier with Walgreens. both pharmacies are really tanking, so that's a negative. We actually have McDonald's, or good old MCD, kind of falling back off to the downside as well. I mean, look at McDonald's here, down to 233.36. I mean, this is a pretty big pullback here for McDonald's, which honestly, McDonald's has been holding up pretty well the past few months. So to see them pulling back like this, I think is going to be pretty telling. You know, one sector I kind of forgot about today is the banks, guys, the big banks. So JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, you know, Warren Buffett came out with that big position yesterday on Citigroup, and, you know, he also owns like Bank of America and a couple other banks. So to see the banks coming back down today is a little bit disheartening, but it looks like they're holding up a little bit. I think they're just coming down with the overall market, and like with Walmart and Target, of course. I don't think it's anything, you know, specific to banks or anything, but, you know, it's still holding up okay. It's still like right around that intraday support of $120 from yesterday, and I'm glad that held up. You know, that does give me some confidence, but overall, the banks are looking pretty good still. You know, they're not falling back off in too bad of a way, which is good to see. So JP Morgan, Bank of America, stocks like that falling back off, but yeah, pretty interesting to see banks falling down like this. I wonder how Goldman Sachs is looking. Let's see. Good old GS. You know, they're actually doing pretty good. I'd say they're holding up kind of like how JP Morgan is. It looks pretty good today. So, yeah, I'll definitely take this out of some of these banks. It's not the worst movement, not the best, but hey, at least they're holding up a little bit. Vicky, if you're still in here, I know you're going to be extremely happy with this next stock here. Here's Fubo here, back to the upside, up 3.2%. I know you were talking about Fubo quite a bit, and, you know, man, it's been moving lower and lower, but it seems like right now it's trying to pop back up, and, you know, if we get a nice recovery out of the growth stocks, I think Fubo could definitely be one of those growth stocks that can recover. Of course, though, they are, you know, it's going to be tough for Fubo. They're in that streaming sector, which is very tough. They have a lot of competition like Disney and, you know, different sports streaming services and people like that. So keep that in mind. They have a lot of competition, but I feel like they could end up doing okay. You know, Matterport's popping back up today, which is another one of those metaverse plays. I know, like Matterport, Unity, Roblox. Seems like a lot of those metaverse plays are popping back today, which is great. So yeah, definitely throw these on the radar if you guys are interested, because they've been really getting beaten down, guys. Like, look at the max daily chart of Roblox. It is insane to see how low they've been going. Same thing with Unity and Matterport. All of these stocks have been really tanking. Like, Unity had highs of $210, and they fell down to lows of $29, guys. $29. Like, man, I feel kind of bad, because, like, all these stocks, like Unity, Matterport, and Roblox, were all rising at the same time. Like, right around November of last year. They all just started exploding. You can see on the chart, every single one of them in November was flying up. And I remember at that time, the reason they were flying up was there was like a really big report that came out, or like an article or something that went over the metaverse and how much potential the metaverse has. And then all that metaverse hype came running into these stocks. And as soon as all the hype came in, it all left. Like, look at the way these stocks fell off. It is insane to see how low they've been running down, and I just cannot believe that they've been running down that low. It's terrible. Johnny Leverage says, what do you think about China stocks for the longer term, like PDD, JD, and BABA? Delisting risks? So, you know, I don't think it'll be too bad as far as delistment goes, Johnny. Let's see. Hunter says, if you have a good broker and they get delisted, you should just get the shares on the Hong Kong exchange. They wouldn't just disappear and go to zero. So that's great to hear, Hunter. I'm glad that they wouldn't just disappear. I have heard of stuff in the past where stocks get delisted and people get screwed over in a pretty bad way. Like Hunter said, though, I guess it depends on your broker. I'm curious to see like what Thinkorswim would do. You know, I have no idea. Maybe I should ask him on the live chat, actually. I might ask him on the chat, but nonetheless, actually, maybe I'll do that on stream, but let's see. He also says, not sure how brokers like Robinhood would handle a delisting. Would probably have to email and ask them. Yeah, exactly, Hunter. I'm kind of curious even how Thinkorswim would do it. I'll definitely have to look that up, or ask the live support chat later, because that's definitely interesting. But yeah, as far as Johnny's question, what do I think about China stocks for the long term? I think they'll be just fine. Personally, I don't think that China stocks will be delisted anytime soon. The only chance I think that China stocks have of delistment is if we start to maybe have like a World War III scenario or something like that. Then I think that those stocks could get delisted. But at the same time, if we go into like a World War III scenario, I'm not sure that the stocks are even going to matter at that point. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But I think that those stocks will be just fine, Johnny. Obviously, each one's different. So PDD, obviously they are a little bit different than BABA, for example. So, each company is going to be different, but I like them all generally. I think that the three that you named, PDD, JD, and BABA, are all pretty good. And what I would say my favorite one is, of course, is BABA. I think they're great. Their earnings have also been pretty good, and their year-over-year growth as far as revenue and everything has been nice. Now, as long as China's not lying about their numbers, now keep in mind, a lot of these Chinese companies have been caught fudging numbers in the past, so keep that in mind always. But I will say, BABA's popping up pretty nicely here, and it's recovering, so I'll take it. It's just under $100 a share. We're at like 90 a share right now. So for the longer term, I think they'll be just fine. I don't think they'll get delisted, and I think it's a great pickup down here. So hopefully you guys start to pick up some of these lower stocks, even if it's not the China stocks. Other growth plays like BABA and other stocks like that are great. Hunter says, I would be surprised if TOS didn't give you the shares on the Hong Kong exchange. Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised too, but you know how it is. you say something, and then of course that then they don't do it. So we'll have to see. But I'll definitely ask that live chat. Maybe I'll ask him right now. Actually, let's see. I'll try to ask him right now. Let's see. I am actually. I'm gonna ask him right now. Well, how should I word this? I'm gonna say, if I bought shares of BABA right now, and BABA got delisted, would you guys give me the shares on the Hong Kong exchange, or would I lose my total position? Thanks. So here's how I worded this, guys, just so you guys can see it here. I'm going to throw it up on the stream. So we're talking to Thinkorswim live support. If I bought shares of BABA right now and BABA got delisted, would you guys give me the shares on the Hong Kong exchange, or would I lose my total position? Thanks. So we'll go ahead and see what they say. We'll see if they get back to me. But nonetheless here, definitely interesting day so far. If you guys are liking the stream, hit that like button. Of course, that always helps out. And last week we got to 33 likes on one of the live streams, guys. And if we could even just get up to 20 today, it could be amazing. So hopefully we hit that goal of 20. We're only 5 likes away. If you haven't liked the video yet, just please take 2 seconds to do it. It really helps me out. And these stocks have been going insane today. Look at the SPY kind of falling back off, but we do have some of those growth plays still moving up today, like AMC, and Sofi today. So pretty nice to see a good contrast today. Some stocks are down, some stocks are breaking out, and it's just making for some crazy price action. Let's see. Let's go back to that SPY really quick here. It's sitting right around 401.37. Not looking too bad. I mean, it's not the worst, not the best. It's definitely not good. We're down 1.7%. Just keep in mind, though, guys, we've been on a crazy uptrend. If we look at that daily chart on the SPY, the past 4 green days in a row have been pretty nice. So we're honestly not down all that much considering how much we've went up. So I guess that's a really good thing to keep in the back of your mind here. The market could always recover. And what I'm happy to see is that SPY is kind of bouncing off this 1,000 SMA on the 5-minute chart. And we're also really close to 400. So who knows? Maybe the SPY will start to pop back up today off of this 1,000 SMA. Every once in a while, we see stuff happen like that where that stuff can happen here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I need to go grab a quick drink. Just give me 1 second. I'll actually throw BABA here up on the chart. Maybe you guys can see a nice breakout, but I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And like I said, don't forget to hit that like button. Alrighty, guys, I am back, and as I was gone, I could actually hear the Thinkorswim person respond, and they answered. So let's see, Johnny. Let's see what the answer to your question is here. Let's see. So Adam says, actually, I'll just bring it up here so you guys can see. He says, "Good morning. If the shares were automatically converted, we'd help. If the shares were automatically converted, we'd help get them." I think he meant to say, if the shares weren't automatically converted, we'd help get them converted. Nothing is automatic. We don't generally take any extra steps. I feel like he worded this a little bit weird, guys. I don't know about you, but it kind of seems like he could have worded this a little bit better. Let's see. Let's see if the shares... Ah, okay. So it looks like he's pretty much saying if it's not automatically converted, they're not going to take any extra steps to get it to give me the shares on that exchange, Hunter. I mean, Hunter, let me know if that's what you're seeing out of this, because from what I'm seeing, what he says, if the shares were automatically converted, we'd help get them converted, but if nothing was automatic, we don't generally take any extra steps. So that sounds like to me like he's saying that, you know, Thinkorswim will not give you the shares if they don't automatically convert over to the Hong Kong exchange. So that is a very strange response. I'm trying to think of like how to even like how to ask him a question back here. It's kind of crazy, but I'll think about that for a couple minutes. But nonetheless, Baba's actually breaking back out, guys. You know, I left it up here on the screen, and it's actually doing pretty good. Vicky says, delisting is coming. I don't trust the Chinese Communist Party, as they do whatever they want with their companies. So many great companies to invest in the Western world. And then Sean says, come on, Palantir, let's break out. Yeah, good old PLTR. Thanks for the comment there, Sean. I appreciate that. Yeah, Palantir is looking pretty good today. It's coming back, but... yeah, Vicky, as far as Chinese stocks and delisting goes, you know, I don't agree. Yeah, I thought so too, Hunter. I kind of thought he didn't know the answer either. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I'll have to, like, ask later on or something. Maybe try to get a different support person, because, yeah, that does seem like he doesn't really know, to be honest. And, yeah, Vicky, like, with the China stocks getting delisted, I mean... it's tough, you know, you have the Chinese Communist Party, and you're right, they definitely do whatever they want. I will say, Vicky, I also agree that with the risk that comes with these China plays like Baba and JD and Baidu and all those different stocks, I will also agree that I feel like that there's so many other good companies at great levels right now, like DraftKings, Square, Facebook, Unity, Netflix, Walmart, Target. I mean, I could go on and on and on right now of great stocks at low prices. And obviously the China stocks are also at really low prices. But in the end, my main concern with the China stocks is obviously that delistment, but I don't think that'll happen. You know, obviously I don't like the Chinese Communist Party at all, but I do believe that China and the United States, they rely on each other a lot. You know, like if we quit sending manufacturing over there, their economy would start to tank, and then ours would tank too. So it's pretty bad. Yeah, Hunter, it is. It's funny. He's like, yeah, we do, but for some reason, if it didn't do it automatically, then you're screwed. Like, yeah, that is funny, but he didn't even really answer it. Like, if the shares were automatically converted, I'm gonna be like, do you know if those shares would automatically convert or not? It seems like they're a pretty big gray area. When looking yeah, so I responded, do you know if those shares would automatically convert or not? It seems like there's a pretty big gray area when trying to I mistyped. Great. Fogre it out. I gotta fix that. Of course I mistyped that out for him. He's gonna be like, I don't know what word that is. That'd be funny. George says FSR is flying today. Let's see, good old FSR Fisker. It's been a while since we talked about them. George, yeah, great call out here, up 7.2%. That is great to see. Yeah, FSR is breaking out. Let's see that on the daily. Yeah, it's really coming back. So that's awesome to see there. Yeah, that's great. I wonder what else is running up. Like, is Rivian and Lucid? Wow, Rivian and Lucid are also breaking out, guys. So pretty cool to see these EV companies continuing to explode up today. Let's see, good old XPEV. Yeah, XPEV is running up too. Very, very nice there. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see, Vicky also says, let's see, she says, can someone tell me, let's see, where Jack Ma has gone since he was reprimanded by the Chinese Communist Party? What about the star tennis player? That's one of many things they do over there, and I don't weaponize people like that. Yeah, I mean, that is true, Vicky. I will say, I don't like investing in stuff like that either. Yeah, it definitely is scary, but, you know, the China stocks could be a good opportunity. It just depends on everything, but I definitely agree with you. I don't agree with anything that they do, really, so that's, I guess that's a good point, but Hunter says, which is interesting because Schwab will give you the Hong Kong shares, and they bought out TD Ameritrade. He also says if they were automatically converted, why would they have to help them get a converter? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it really doesn't. Let me see what the guy said now. Let's see. He said, let me see if I can find any info out. Yeah, Hunter, it looks like he definitely did not know what I was asking. That's funny. He has to go ask somebody, but yeah, that is funny. Hopefully this helps you guys out, though, because obviously these China stocks are pretty important. Let's see. I'm going to just say thanks. I just told him thanks. I really appreciate it. Hopefully he gets back to us. You know, it's definitely interesting, and I hope that they do. Let's see. Sean Cornish says AMC is popping off. Let's see. Wow, it really is, Sean. Breaking out in a pretty big way. Up above $13.50. This is actually a pretty big move up. So great call out there, Sean. I kind of forgot about good old AMC today. Up 9.5%. Looks like GME is actually trying to come up, but it's still in the red. But you can see it's trying to run up over the past like 30 minutes or so. But yeah, Sean, AMC is exploding. That is an amazing move there to the upside. So that's great. I hope it keeps running up. And yeah, it broke above 14 and Yeah, we're moving. Let's see that 1 year daily. You know, we're going to be getting really close to that $15 resistance here soon, so keep that in mind, Sean. But so far today, it's had some amazing movement, and yeah, it's breaking out, and it's running up, so I'll take it. It might make for some pretty good day trades here. Hunter goes, damn, he should have checked before sending the first response. That's what I'm saying, Hunter. Like, he should have just said, you know, I actually don't know that answer. I'll be right back or something, you know? Just say something like that rather than giving some bullshit. He probably was trying to just, you know, get me out of his hair for a while. Vicky says, it will happen, Tom, as they will not accept to comply with the SEC rules. I don't understand why on earth they were never made to comply as any other company does. Just unacceptable. Yeah, true, Vicky. I mean, that is very true. We'll have to see. I will say that China might be, they might be holding their power over us, Vicky. You know, like, think about this. So, I know you might have to put on your tinfoil hat here for a second, but so let's say this, Vicky. Let's say that we decide, hey, you know, these Chinese companies, they're not being truthful on their earnings, or, you know, they're fudging numbers or whatever it is. They're not complying with SEC rules. We're going to delist you guys. China might come right back and they might say, fine, you know what? You're going to delist our stocks. You know what? We're going to ban our people from investing in the U.S. exchange. You know, they could do something like that. That could really hurt U.S. companies if China pulled their money out of there. So keep in mind that it's not always as simple as, you know, we're just going to be delisting the stocks and then it's game over. You know, like, they're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Like, if we delist their stocks, they could add more tariffs to us. They could stop our manufacturing over there. They could release another virus. I mean, who knows? You know, who knows what their threats are? But I'm sure it's pretty crazy, you know, when we get down into it. And a lot of people like to call the, you know, the virus, what is that called? The coronavirus, the Chinese virus. You know, it started over there in that lab in Wuhan or whatever it is, and I think it's Wuhan. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's pretty crazy. I'm sure that they could they have a lot of different things that they could hit back at us with if we did that to them. So that's the main thing, Vicky. It's like two powerhouses and they're going at each other. It's like neck and neck right now. I can't believe, I'm kind of curious to see what will happen in the future with China, because it's definitely a really big big country and big thing to talk about here. But kind of going back to some other stocks here. So AMC's running. We also have RUN continuing to move up here. It moved up to 23.43 today. Made for an amazing move up, so that's great. Vicky says, I have to go, Tom. Thanks for all you do. Hit the like, guys. Yeah, thanks for being here, Vicky. I'm always glad to talk to you about the China stocks. Hopefully they don't get delisted, but yeah, it's definitely not sounding too good right now. But yeah, thanks for joining up. I always appreciate all the nice conversation and everything like that. I'm glad you brought up Jack Ma and stuff too, because that was I kind of forgot about all that stuff with him. I remember Jack Ma even, like, yeah, he disappeared for a while, so it was pretty crazy. All right, so it looks like Adam has answered us with our question here about the China stocks getting delisted. So let's see what he says, because, you know, I'm afraid DD might be gone soon, so we'll have to see. Let's see what Adam says. He says, I'm afraid I'm not coming up with much info either. So, yeah, it looks like he's not able to even really help us out. So, yeah, it looks like the Thinkorswim support guy wasn't able to do much for us. But, hey, at least he tried. I will say he tried, but I'm kind of with Hunter here. He should have said something in the beginning rather than trying to, you know, say something random. Can I change my text color? I'm going to put it in red. Well, thanks for trying. This is so funny. Why am I able to put this in the red? I put in red so he knows I'm angry. That's funny. I cannot believe they let you change your text color in the Thinkorswim support room. But yeah, guys, here it is. He's afraid he can't tell us too much info. But what he does say is if they're not automatically converted, they generally won't convert it over for you. So I don't know. Hopefully it automatically converts. Yeah, we'll just close that. Yeah. Hopefully it automatically converts though, but I hope that really helps you out there, Johnny. I hope that answers your question. I know it didn't totally answer your question, but hey, I tried. I will say the chances of delistment I think are pretty low, but there is always that underlying risk. What I would say, Johnny, is that if you really want China stocks, what I would do is make your own like little fund up, like just, I know it's not really a fund, but just use your portfolio and just, maybe get a good weighting of stocks. So, like if you like China stocks, maybe put like, for example, maybe do 20% of your portfolio into BABA, maybe 10% of your portfolio into JD or something like that. And then that would add up to a total of like 30% of your portfolio or something like that being the China stocks. So then maybe with the other 70% of your portfolio, maybe buy up like some Facebook or like, some Walmart or, even Tesla if you wanted to, or AMD or whatever you want. But you know what I mean? Like diversify a little bit. Just don't get all China stocks. Definitely like, look around, get a few different stocks in different sectors. Don't just sit all in the China, internet sector. Definitely start to change it up or switch it up a little bit. I think that's some really good advice there. So, I know in the past I've over leveraged even a little bit on some stocks, and big players like Cathie Wood and other people like that have been over leveraged in a few stocks too. And as we know, it's been going very well for them. No, if you couldn't tell that sarcasm there, it really hasn't. I mean, it's been going very, very poorly for them, and they've been over leveraged quite a bit. Like, let me go bring up the ARKK holdings really quick here again. I know I bring this up all the time, but let's go to good old Cathie's Ark here. Good old Cathie's Ark. I love looking at Cathie's Ark. Let's see. So I went ahead and I did the combined weighting of all of her holdings here. So you can see Tesla is at the top here with a 6.17% weighting. Like, guys, that's pretty. I know it's not the most. It's not like the biggest weighting in the whole world, but guys, that is a pretty big weighting. I mean, it's 6% of her whole portfolio. I mean, look at Zoom. It's like 5%. Roku's 5%. Square's 4.2%. And as you go down, obviously they get lower and lower and lower. And like look at this. Like she has a pretty established company. John Deere. She only has 0.46% of her portfolio in John Deere. Like come on. Like look at how John Deere has been performing this year. Like if she would have upped her weighting in John Deere, maybe she would have done a little bit better. And I know John Deere is in her ARKX, which is the space exploration ETF, which is not good. Let's see. Cathie Wood is green on one of her top 25 holdings, and ARKK Hunter says. Let's go see it. Yeah, let's go check it out. I'll switch this to ARKK and we'll look at it. Let's find the green stock here. Let's see. Is it Tesla? Is that the one? Is that the only stock she's green on, Hunter? Let's see. He said the top 15, right? Let's see. Yeah, top 25. Top 25. Let's see. 25. Yeah, you're definitely right, Hunter. Look at that. All red besides for Tesla, which it says she's cost average in at like $325. So let's see where Tesla's at now. Yeah, I mean, obviously she's still doing pretty good on Tesla because she got in at the beginning. To be honest, though, I will say her cost on Tesla is still pretty high, I'll say. I mean, I get it that she's up quite a bit and it's low, but look at where she got in. She got in like right after that split. Like at least her average price is right around like the area it was at right when Tesla split. So that is pretty interesting in my opinion. But yeah, thank you guys for hitting that like button. I noticed we got up to 23 likes today. I really appreciate that. So thank you guys so much for hitting that like button and joining up. It really helps me out, and it definitely makes me happy to see the likes out there. It's always nice whenever people are liking the videos and stuff. It really helps push it more in the YouTube algo, of course, and everything like that. But also, it just motivates us to continue to pump more content out. So thank you guys so much. I always appreciate that. And yeah, going back to Cathie's Ark really quick. I want to go back to that combined holdings really quickly here because I want to go down here just to show you guys how bad this has been. And I also want to show you how she's been over leveraging into some very, very risky stocks. So here's Tesla. You know, of course, this one's green. You can see here in the cost average, I guess you could say cost average, what would you call this? Column, I guess. You can see how this one's green at the top, 256 to 326 here on her average cost basis between her different funds. And as we go down, you can see not one of these are green, guys. I mean, this is rough. We have to go all the way down to VCYT to finally get back in the green again. So the only thing she's winning on is Tesla. And of course, that's her highest weighted thing in her portfolio. And she's up on it. So, you know, you would initially think maybe that's good. But then you go look at the other funds and it's like, man, like ARKK on a yearly basis is just terrible. I mean, it's been terrible the way she's been, the way that fund has been falling down. Hunter says 2 of the 4 companies she's green on out of 36 only make up 1.48% of the fund. Exactly. That was my main point with that, Hunter. It's insane to see how the stuff that's green doesn't even make anything up. And my favorite stock that she's green on is John Deere. And it's like she barely has any of it. 0.46% combined across her all of her portfolios. So that's terrible in my opinion. Like Hunter has said over the past 6 months, guys, he's been hitting her pretty hard, saying she should have been, you know, obviously changing up her positions and changing her weightings around a little bit more and stuff like that. And, you know, they didn't do the best job. You know, her analysts, obviously, I don't know if she just decided not to listen to them or if the analysts were wrong or what, but either way, it's not good. And for a fund, I mean, she might still be making money because of the fees and everything associated with them, but I still think that you know, Kathy Woods' fame is definitely going down the tubes more and more as we start to go on here. So definitely not good. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys joining up today. You know, we covered some pretty good stocks. There's some pretty good movers today. You know, to the upside, we have AMC running up, which is great. Sofi, Roblox, RUN, Rivian, Unity, Matterport. So pretty good day so far for the growth stocks, guys. I appreciate everybody joining up. You know, it's been a pretty decent day. The market has been all over the place. Big retailers are down, but growth stocks are up. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and, you know, good luck. Hopefully you guys can bring in those tenders today.